Hey, my name is Josh Rosenthal from C-Level Insights and C-LevelInsights.com, the DSB podcast on Apple Podcasts. Today we're filming at Seabird Bar in Draper, Utah, that I opened with a few of my friends, Asher Safink and Jameel Gaskins. They made me say that. So today we are looking at things to do to get out of an issue with your business, a cash issue. Before we can know what to do, we had to diagnose it, and we kind of spent some time working through analyzing your three big financial statements, statement of cash flow, profit and loss, and your balance sheet to understand and try and find where your problem is. Today's problem assumes that we've looked at your statement of cash flows and that, let's say, just for the sake of the illustration, because it feels counterintuitive, that you're a very profitable company. But below that, let's assume that your debt service eats up all of your profit and then some. So now you're negative because of that. So we want to know, what do you do? What's that next layer in the statement of cash flows that would allow you to dig out of that? And that's your financing layer. What are you doing to keep your doors open? We want a business to be able to take care of itself. We want it to cash flow itself. Sometimes that can take years. So what do you do? If you found out too late, you don't have great options. Because the principle that I talk about a lot is that if you wait until you need cash to get cash, you will not get cash. No one wants to give money to someone who needs it, because that says that they're in a bad place. It maybe says that you're not a great manager of money. Maybe it says that you don't know your business well enough to know to get cash way in advance. So today assumes that you've just started keeping your books for the first time because you're in trouble. Your books are kept well. And what's happening is that you've identified that you're profitable, but your debt service is too high. So how do you urgently get cash? It should be noted that there are no good solutions in this place unless there's a good family member who loves you, or if you have savings. Otherwise, these are all just very expensive options. So let's talk about it. You can call the bank and let them know that you have an issue and talk about opening a line of credit. That'll take a few weeks, and you may not qualify if you're in a bind. So you generally have to go beyond institutional financing or to atypical, or not atypical, just financing that costs a lot of money. And what I mean by that is really high interest rate money. So let's take a look at these. We've got friends and family. That's an extremely valid capital source for you in this moment. If your business is good, if it's profitable, but your debt service is too high, and you've got a family member who wants to see you succeed and they have some cash that they want to put into your business, I think you take it. And you take it, but you take it well and you take it wisely. You hire an attorney and you get the right paperwork on it, and you bring that money in. So let's say you're negative $50,000 for the year and you have a family member who wants to give you $100,000 and they're willing to do it at 8% and no payments until you can. That's the benefit of non-institutional money. Institutions will never say only make a payment when you can, but friends and family might. And they can dig you out of a bind. And if they just want to do this loan, they can. The next thing that you can do is sell equity. It should be noted that selling equity is the most expensive thing that you could do, but when you're in a bind, it's probably the most marketable thing that you have, assuming that you have a good business or a business that's attractive to people. You can sell a piece of your business. I don't like doing this unless you're bringing on a really strategic partner or someone who has some great synergy with what you're doing. 1 + 1 = 8. But if you just need money and you believe in keeping the doors open, you might find someone who wants to give you money and just be careful. Do your due diligence on that person, because sometimes it may be better to just go out of business than bring on the wrong partner who will make your life miserable. Maybe the bankruptcy or defaulting on your lease and your other notes payable would be better than bringing on certain partners. So do your due diligence on them. Interest rates on equity, though there's not a true interest rate, some would say that the cost of that money is like an 8, 40 to 80% is what they say. Like, you're giving up a lot to do equity. But it's one of your fast cash solutions. If you use Square or Clover or any of these things for your point of sale, then you can get money from them. And it's really expensive money, and it's money that will not be a long-term solution, but it is a short-term solution, because say you're a coffee shop and you take the Square Capital, they're going to take 16% of your daily credit card receipts that come in. And if your profitability is only 8%, they're taking 16%, you can do the math. You don't have long. So take that money from Square or Clover and only spend it on solvency. Do not spend it on anything else. Spend it on keeping your doors open. Also, American Express has a solution depending on how you take credit cards from people, how you take payments. And they can give you some money that's really expensive and really heavy, like $100,000, but you have to pay back $13,000 a month. If your profit's only $10,000, you better take that $100,000 and not do anything but focus it on short-term solvency so you can look really nice to go get some long-term bank financing. Point being, in the position that you're in, it's hard to find good money, but if you're there are still solutions. You just have to be tenacious and find places that will give you money, and you have to maintain that risk of putting personal guarantees on the money, selling equity, just doing what it takes to keep the doors open by putting cash in the bank. My name is Josh Rosenthal from C-Level Insights, clevelinsights.com. I'd love to hear in the comments below how you keep your doors open.